Well, you guys, we finished the Trap and Tone Challenge with LASHAE for the month of October. And I think it was great. It was challenging. It was amazing. We are so happy with the results, and we hope that, other people will join in for the next challenge and just try it out and see how you feel. So there is another challenge happening in November, okay? So go to the site, ifyoucanmove.com. The link is down below in my description box, and sign up for the challenge. And don't forget about TLC, NutriBurst, and all of the amazing products that they have at TLC. The link is down below to where you can purchase some of those products. I've even gotten my husband into the NutriBurst. I've gotten my husband into the tea, actually, especially if he isn't feeling that great. Sometimes he might have a little stomach issue. He drinks that tea and he feels great like an hour later. So, just saying. Don't listen to me though. All right, but yeah, y'all, just wanted to give y'all an update before we started this video, but yay, we finished. Hey everybody, what's up? It's your girl Bondi Blue, and I am back for another Put a Ring on It review. So let's start off with Hollywood and Ashley. So Hollywood and Ashley had a session with Dr. Nicole, and basically what they have come to understand is that Ashley is not just mad at Hollywood for calling off their wedding after he proposed, but also she's upset at herself for staying with him after, because now there's some resentment there. And I don't know if they can move past it. You know what I'm saying? I feel like they're both still in the relationship because they want to be with each other. But sometimes it's too much water under the bridge, and there's been too much pain and too much hurt to move past it. I don't know if that's them, but I feel like Ashley seems so much happier when she's going on dates with different guys, because all of that weight that is present in her relationship with Hollywood isn't there. So I don't know if I think they're gonna make it. Vincent goes on his dates, and I forgot the lady's name, but she basically says that she would not have allowed for her man to go out on a date with another woman. I mean, Tamika was obviously bothered, and she would have been too, but she would not have put herself in this situation. And I'm just kind of like, well, if you wouldn't put yourself in this situation as a girlfriend, why would you put yourself in this situation as a date? Like, this is obviously casting, you know what I'm saying? Like, I have to think that it's something along those lines, because otherwise, if you're so uncomfortable, why would you go on a date with a guy who you know has a girlfriend? Is that what we do otherwise? No. So if you are going to judge Tamika for being in this situation, I have to ask myself, why are you putting yourself in this situation? Because everybody's sharing a man right now. Like, that's what this is basically about. We're sharing a man in the moment. Then he talks about how the overall goal with Tamika is for her to trust him again. And yes, some things happen at the beginning of the relationship that may have caused issue in the trust. But at this point, he just wants them to be able to get over it and get past it. Like, why were you so eager to believe what this woman had to say instead of believing what I had to say? And I'm like, when are we going to talk about the trip that he took with this woman? Like, we keep talking about, the conversation is in there was no real evidence that he was really with this girl, but he took a whole trip with her, from what Tamika said. In this episode, they never brought that up with him, which annoyed me. But either way, I have to wonder, how is going on a date with another woman going to make your current woman trust you? If she already feels like she can't trust you because of another woman, why is going on a date with somebody else going to help y'all's relationship? Make me understand. Never mind. Shay and Michael. So Shay and Michael talk about his 12-year-old son, and he wants his son to come and live with him. Shay says that for her, that would be an inconvenience to her life. And I saw in a preview to next week's episode that she told him it would be a deal breaker for his son to come and live with them, because she could just not, see her life being upset in that way. And I was just kind of like, Shay, you really don't want this man, do you? Like, you cannot possibly love this man if you think that you're going to be able to keep a distance between him and his child so you can be comfortable being with a man that doesn't have to be the primary caregiver for his child. Like, I'm so annoyed with her. It actually made me not like her. Like, are you insane? Like, that's all came into my, are you insane? Listen, I guess because I grew up in a family where there were, a lot of situations where a man would come in and take care of somebody else's child, or a woman would come in and take care of somebody else's child. Like, my family, we're good for that. When it's about these kids, it's about these kids. Fuck all that other bullshit. It's about these kids. So for me, if I'm going to be in a relationship with anybody that has children, I'm coming at it from the mindset that, first of all, I don't want any issues with your baby mother. If she's respectful, I'm respectful. I only want to help facilitate and make that situation as comfortable for everybody as possible, because at the end of the day, me being in a relationship with this man should not upset his situation with his child. And I don't want to be that person to the child. Like, if I'm going to be with a man with a kid, I want to be a stepmom. I want to be someone that that child has, you know, love for. And I want to love that child. I want to have a relationship with that child, because for me, you can't love a man if you don't love his kid. And vice versa. You can't love a woman if you don't love her kid. And the fact that so many people get in relationships because they're lonely, and they completely disregard how that person is going to fit into their family dynamic with their child, I think that is such a bad decision. And I think Shay sounds crazy. And if Michael decides to break up with her because of this, I honestly feel like it's the only right thing to do. He told her then the relationship is over then. And she was looking like she was surprised. And I was like, how are you surprised that he's going to choose his child over you? Yeah, bitch. Yeah. You shouldn't even put him in a situation where he has to, because I don't want to be with a man that's going to choose a woman over his child. I don't want to be with no man like that. So something is wrong with Shay. Hollywood goes on a date with this lady named Passionate, okay? And she was, you know, cool. She was pretty, but she was tall. And I don't think he really liked that. However, he's a, you know, a gentleman. He personable. New Orleans man. New Orleans man ain't about to really make you feel no type of way. They gonna flirt with you and they gonna make you feel good, because it make them feel good to make you smile, and to, you know, make any pretty lady like them is a vibe, whether they want that woman or not. So Hollywood had this really fun date, but you could tell that it was no sparks. It wasn't nothing special going on in that date. But she was from Louisiana, and they were competitive, and they played Jenga or whatever the game is together, and that was cool. I love that he said, you know, I ain't never really played with no bricks like that, because I grew up in a project. So, you know, I had enough of bricks. By the time I got an adult, I don't want to play nothing with no damn bricks. I've had enough. So then Michael's date comes to get him from him in Shay's apartment, and it's very uncomfortable. Yeah, you could tell she's still bothered. They go and smoke hookah. They have a real conversation. The girl was beautiful. So when he opened the door, he was actually taken aback by how pretty she was. And Shay noticed that. So it was hella awkward. Him and that girl had a really good time, had a really good conversation. And she also seemed more open to a family dynamic. She seemed more open to children. He said that the girl reminded him of Shay, but I'm like, obviously, that ain't the case. Because you don't really want to be with Shay. Hell, I wouldn't really want to be with Shay talking about it's an inconvenience for my son to come and live with us, bitch. You're not really trying to be with me then. Child, Dr. Nicole comes to talk to Tamika and Vince. And even though, you know, I like Tamika as an actress on this show, I don't know, there's something about her that irks me. Like her sadness and whatever the insecurity is that she has, that she's wearing on her, it's irking me a little bit, because she's so beautiful. And I feel like this is somebody that probably overly analyzes and, you know, like, oh my God, like I'm worried, but I'm going to act like I'm not worried, and I'm going to be passive aggressive about it. Like, she's one of those people, and that just kind of irks my energy. You know what I'm saying? Makes my ass itch. Vincent says once again that he just wants Tamika to trust him. And she is upset that he blames her for this whole situation with that other woman. And he's like, because why would you talk to her? Why would you engage with her when I already told you that it's me and you? And I'm like, dude, that's not how any of this works. If some dude came out of nowhere and DM'd you and said that he was still smashing her while you were smashing her, you would have felt some type of way, and I'm sure the relationship wouldn't have persisted. But see, here's the thing. Women really do have to start handling things like men. If you have a hard time getting over something, leave. Don't continue to be in a relationship with somebody when the relationship starts off messed up. Like, why would you do that? Because men don't. If men don't want to be there, they leave. If they see something they don't like, if you make them feel any type of way, they will leave your ass. So I don't understand why women are always trying to hold on so tough to situations that they really should not have time or patience for from the gate. And whenever a girl hits you up in your DMs about some dude you just started dating, bitch, that's a red flag. So all the men meet up so that they can talk, and they talk amongst themselves. And Vincent says, that he really liked his date Whitney, and that they actually exchanged phone numbers, and they had been texting one another. They also discuss how, some of them, Hollywood specifically, has never had a threesome. And I'm like, me neither. And I also feel like I want to experience that too, but I also felt like anybody I married, I can experience that with them. But I don't know if that's what men want to do, because men be in this, crazy ass situation in their mind where they want to be with a woman that wouldn't do the sexual things that they want to do. Like, oh no, that's a dirty girl. I can't be with a dirty girl. I can sleep with her and do all the freak nasty things I don't want to do with my wife with her, But I'm like, they really need to get past that. If you have sexual chemistry with somebody, if you have chemistry at all with somebody, you need to be trying to work on that instead of being with people you deem as clean versus somebody who you want to do all your freak nasty stuff with. Just saying. Maybe then you wouldn't keep cheating or making her feel insecure in a relationship, because you can't tell me that something else hasn't happened. I just feel like we haven't been privy to the information, but something else happened between Tamika and Vince. You know what I'm saying? Like, it seems like we missing some of the parts to this story. Then Hollywood tells us that he wants to have sex with a little person, and that's when I checked out. So all the couples meet up with Dr. Nicole, and Hollywood says that Passionate had it going on, even though she was too tall. Ashley went on her date with Andre last episode, who gave her that nice hand massage. And Hollywood says that at the end of the day, he's kind of dealt with this and he just wants Ashley to be happy. So right now, he's enjoying the dates he's going on. She's enjoying the dates that she's going on. And it's not no animosity right now. We just going through the process. Tamika and her corny date with Everson didn't meet her expectations. Not at all. Of course, she puts the blame on herself for being more so worried about Vince during that time. But she hated his date, and she hated him going on that date because the girl had a nice body. So her mind went crazy while he was on his date. I'm sure she was crying and all emotional and everything. Child, I would have went and opened up a bottle of wine and put on Martin and rested my damn nerves. Shay and her date Peyton had a nice time, and she was feeling his clean cut and his little vibe and everything. I think she was trying to put it on extra because she felt like Mike had put it on extra about Whitney, about her looks and how beautiful she was. So she was doing the same thing with Peyton. Mike expresses how Whitney's beauty caught him off guard and how they exchanged numbers and they have text since. And it was all very innocent. I don't know if I believe that. I think the fact that they went as far as to exchange numbers shows that he was really feeling that girl. And Shay is pissed. She's angry. She feels like that went too far and that's not what we were supposed to be here for. And I'm like, girl, if you don't think at some point that was going to happen if he met somebody he liked, you were fooling yourself. Like, I'm just saying, you were fooling yourself, sis. Like, it's not going to be just one date if they like each other. Shay says that Mike is the love of her life, and this just really hurts, knowing that he's actually engaging with somebody else. She doesn't know if he feels the same way about her. I don't think he does. Dr. Nicole says that if he doesn't meet her halfway, another man will, and she needs to accept the fact that this relationship may not be the relationship. Okay? Sometimes we love people a lot. I have loved very hard in my life. I have loved a few people very hard in my life, to the point where I can't tell you today that I don't still love those people, just in a different capacity. You know what I'm saying? It feels different. It's not the same love. But at the end of the day, I love them. I care about them. That's how hard I love. So I get it. But that doesn't mean that you can't move on from those relationships when they are no longer beneficial. Every relationship isn't a forever relationship. And just because you and Mike have all this chemistry or whatever y'all have, it doesn't mean you can't find that and better with somebody else who's more willing and who doesn't have a kid that you don't want to take responsibility for. Everybody has to honor their feelings and be honest. Hollywood says that they were just talking about this. He feels like if he hurt somebody, he would rather just leave and move on and make it work with somebody new than trying to fix what he broke in, the person that he cheated on. And it's like, y'all have to get out of that mindset, because you will never really have anything worth having if you give up every time shit gets hard or you make a mistake. We all make mistakes. It's not even always about cheating. Sometimes we just kind of fall out of sync and have to find our way back to each other and all of that. Like, you go through ebbs and flows and ups and downs, and you can't feel like, oh, shit got hard, so I'm just gonna throw this away and start over with somebody else without all of the baggage. Like, that's not always the answer. Tamika and Vince talk about her insecurities and how they have taken over their relationship, and that's very obvious. I think it's taken over her life, the insecurities. But he says that he does love her. So Dr. Nicole asked if they want to go out on new dates or go on dates with one of the previous people. And everybody says they want to go on a new date, but I honestly feel like Mike wants to go on another date with Whitney, but he's not going to do it because he doesn't want to hurt Shay. If he does do it, he'll do it behind her back. But anyway, y'all, I definitely don't think this situation with Whitney is over. So I'll see y'all for the next review. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe to my other channel, Relax with Blue. If y'all can, become Patreons, just in case anything ever happens on this channel. Y'all will always have access to me through another avenue. So please, if you want to support my channel, become Patreons. The links are all down below in the description box. I love y'all, and I will see y'all in the next one.